Some people move mountains. They're the doers. That are things that need to be done and they do them. Actions that need to be taken and they take them. Parents move mountains. They change the very face of the earth by adding something to it that wasn't there before. Any good parent would move a mountain for their child, and depending on how they do their job, they may even raise mountain movers. Politicians move mountains. They can redraw the very lines on the map. Some of the most amazing things and some of the most horrible things you can possibly imagine can be done by politicians. Engineers move mountains. They can tear them apart and put them somewhere else. They can carve a likeness into them. Scientists move mountains. They change the very nature of the universe by learning things that we didn't know before. Or they can turn a city to ash in moments. Personally, I love words. I love reading them, writing them, and speaking them. Even before I loved words, I loved letters. I love how some of them look like they sound. My first love was S. It was soft and sensual. It could make things more than they were just by adding it to the end. My second love was K. So much different than S. It was all edges and points, and it could kill with kindness. And then I loved words. I love the most how the meanings are in people instead of in the words themselves. Like red. Red is a color. It's also rage and love. It's blood and flowers. It's fire and sunsets. In India, it reminds people of weddings, and in North America, it reminds us of Christmas or Valentine's Day. I'm sure that somewhere there's a child who, when they see red, they're filled with both pride and sadness. Reminds them of the flag they draped over the box that their parent came home in. And so meanings are in people, for better or for worse. It makes it harder to connect and communicate, but it makes that connection worth so much more. Then I loved games. I love how they're all made of words, and they allowed me to connect with people in new and fascinating ways. People let little secret parts of them slip out when they play games, in moments of happiness or concentration, in moments of victory and defeat. People tell me I'm a mountain mover, that I'm built for so much more than this, more than reading and writing and playing games, that I could accomplish great things, that I could save lives, I could create amazing things, I could learn the secrets of the world, of the universe. And they're mostly right. I could do those things. But I love reading and writing and playing games. They tell me that I'm all talk and no walk, that actions speak louder than words, and I might never move mountains. But I have moved hearts, and I have changed minds, and I have brought tears of empathy to people's eyes. And don't tell me that it's easier to move a heart than a mountain when our hearts are caged in iron for their protection. If you manage to forge a key out of the fragments of your own heart, you find theirs battered, beaten, bruised, burned beyond recognition from tragedies, trials, tricks, and tribulations. And they let you touch it. But if you handle it any less delicately than a secret, it will shake, shard, shatter, and scatter to the winds. Though they'll always find all the pieces, and they'll always put it back together, it's never in quite the same way, and they'll almost never let you touch it again. And don't tell me that it's simple to change a mind, minds that are filled with a lifetime of preconceived notions, with roots 2,000 or more years deep, steeped in racism, ritual, regurgitated reasoning that aren't its own, but were instead put there by generation after generation of irrationality, incredulity, ignorance, and ill intent, all because our neurotic neurons nearly necessitate never changing. To change is to die, to cast off what you once were and become something new, something better. However, they almost never see it that way. And don't tell me that it's easy to make someone cry in this day and age, when we're so disillusioned, desensitized, durable, and detached from every allure or altruism, every ache or atrocity. It's because everything that has ever happened in recorded history is literally at our fingertips. It's all being done. In order to make it happen, you have to strike a very specific chord for that person, be it bass, sharp, flat, sweet, or dissonant. But if you manage to do it and you see that tear roll down that cheek and know that this person can still be confounded by compassion, caring, consideration, comprehension, It's all worth it. So, I might not change the whole world, but I might change how some people perceive it, and that means something to me. And people are always ready to judge you, and they'll often tell you what you're not. 27 years old, not a husband, not a father, not a lover, not a traveler, not an adventurer, not a college graduate. But if you ask me how I see myself at 27 years old, always happy, always listening, always learning, always teaching, always know who I am and always know what I love. So I don't move mountains. I also live with no regrets.